Hello everyone, my name is Chaz. Welcome to the International 2014. This match is between Natus Vincere US, or Navi US on the Radiant side, and LGD Gaming on the Dire side. They are a Chinese team that is looking very good. Navi US is pretty much the best of the US's free agents slapped onto a team, and they're looking really good as of late. So I am excited to see what they can do for this tournament in particular. Why is it not connecting?
Radiant team, pick.
You have it? Alright. For whatever reason, it's not loading on here. Anyways, I apologize for that. First picks out of LGD Gaming are the Tidehunter and Razor. I love Tide. Razor has been in almost every game of this international. I kid you not. He's been picked in, I believe, 90... I did the math in my head during the break. 91% of games, something like that. He's only been not picked twice. He's been skipped twice, so this hero is nuts. And we get my favorite hero combination in the game, Wisp and Tiny coming out from Navi US. Man, I love Tiny. Wisp is such an engaging hero, and Tiny is a joy to watch once he's late game, so I'm super excited to see what we will see out of Navi US from this game. Now, LGD Gaming, I'm presuming that that is an offlane Tidehunter with the Razor mid. That seems to be the way to go. However, it very well could be a Razor top lane, safe lane. So, it's up in the air at the moment, but I'm gonna go with my intuition and say Tidehunter off lane, bot, and then Razor safe lane top. Tiny and Wisp almost assuredly safe lane. Maybe even mid. It could be mid. Send two others to a lane, then an off laner. We're going to say Disruptor ban out of Navi US. Disruptor is such a strong hero in the current metagame right now. It's crazy. So, a very respectable ban out of them. However, I do think Disruptor would have been very good on Navi US. That being said, LGD has the first pick out of these bans, so it is wise to ban whoever you think the other team might snag from you. We're going to get an Enchantress ban from LGD. And Chinese teams do really enjoy playing the Enchantress. Chuan is known for his Enchantress on IG. Newbie just picked him up in their last game against Alliance. And the Enchantress didn't have a very big impact in that game. It's still a very good hero for the early game. Now, from Navi US, I'm expecting to see some, presumably some more carry bans out. That being said, Chinese teams are usually extremely flexible with their carries, but Tiny is a very susceptible hero to burst damage, huge amounts of damage, and maybe something like a PA. Chinese teams aren't really picking up on that PA pick that was almost pioneered by RTZ, who's actually EE, Eternal Envy, who led the charge in the PA mid, but RTZ did it convincingly in a game, and then pubs were ruined for months on end. Thanks, RTZ. So, it will be an OD ban.
I want to see Tiny.
What was that?
I want to see Tiny get anything good. Lion is good against this, I believe.
Reserve time.
I would love to see Tiny mid, which, because of that OD ban, I'm thinking it very well may be a tiny mid with Wisp. Like, if you're banning out OD, who's typically a mid lane hero, you're under the impression that Razor is not the enemy's mid lane hero and he's instead going to the safe lane. We will see the Lich out of LGD, and man, this hero is good. Lich against Tiny and Wisp. The two are pretty much interconnected forever. So with the Chain Frost bouncing between them, that is an exceptional pickup. We will now have the Earthshaker from Navi US, another one of those really exciting heroes to watch, simply because of the huge amounts of damage and stun he can do with just a Blink Dagger. He needs no items, just the Blink Dagger. And the Earthshaker has a tremendous game impact. Now, I would like to point out some deeper insight into the game. LGD has an array of strength, agility, and intelligence so far, while Navi is only sticking to strength heroes. Strength Tavern Draft.
Reserve time.
If they win, don't say I called it, but I called it. Strength heroes, best heroes. Coming up from LGD now, most likely, I would say you mask your final carry until your last pick, your carry until your last pick, so I'm expecting a support here. Shadow Shaman's been extremely popular. Bane works very well with Razor. Something maybe a bit off base, like a lion, just to shut down the Wisp in case he comes. Just pop him with your finger. Shadow Shaman is indeed the pickup. Shadow Shaman and Razor have been in quite a few games during this international, alongside Skywrath Mage, who I would not be surprised if Navi US picked up a Skywrath Mage. However, with a Wisp and Earthshaker, that's probably not the wisest pick.
What for, though? Why would you need a Skywrath against this team so far? The silence, the Ancient Seal was pretty good.
Silence. Pretty much exclusively silence. You see Lich, I'm pretty sure the cast point is near instant. So if you could snag Lich, winding up his ult, and that being said, Lich's ult cast point's like only half a second, so it's very difficult to do. Oh, I love this pick. Oh my god, I love seeing Viper in pro games.
This is going to be a fun match.
Viper is widely known as the anti-carry of Dota, because no matter how hard that dude hits you, you're still doing damage to him. You can be stunned, blind, broken on 1 HP. If anybody hits you, they're taking damage. So, and all he needs to do, really, is pop his ult. And he has a tremendous impact on that fight. By simply hitting the carry with his ult, you remove him from the fight almost entirely. Against the two supports of Shadow Shaman and Lich, Viper is a great pick.
And what's Razor known as?
What was that?
What is Razor known as?
He's also a type of anti-carry, but he has more carry potential than Viper. Stealing damage is great, but Razor can contribute a bit more to a fight. Morphling.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be a very interesting game.
I'm enjoying LGD's draft. This is very... I don't want to say unorthodox, because 6.81 up until this point has seen almost none of the heroes that we've seen at TI. But it's a very, very good mesh of individually good heroes. So we'll have to see if these individually good heroes can work together, while Navi US has more of this unified team comp to where all of their heroes need to play together in order for them to be successful. So I'm extremely curious to see on which side's strategy or playstyle works out better and which one executes better. Because if Earthshaker lands a good stun, that leaves Wisp and Tiny to go ham. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this final pick. Most likely an offlaner, unless this is an offlane Viper. It's probably going to have to be someone who's very independent, because I'm assuming we're going to have this Earthshaker as a roamer. Something like... I'm not sure if you want a Centaur for the extra stun. All stuns are good, so stuns are nice.
Centaur is very good in this situation. He's very good at catching Morphling, except for his reputation.
Who did you say? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Centaur, War Runner, actually.
Centaur. Okay.
Yeah, you do have a good point on him, because he is fantastic against, actually, Lich, because he's squishy, Shadow Shaman, because he's squishy, Morphling, because of his ultimate, he can actually catch up to the slippery little, water elemental, let's say? Elder Titan, oh
I
my.
love this pick too! Man, Navi US is coming out of the gates firing. Now, like I said, LGD's draft is very individual focused. It's going to take Razor a good static link for him to do well. It's going to take Tide a good ult for him to do well. Morphling is going to need a bit of farm. It's all about individual responsibility. Where on Navi US, it's about team synergy. Earthshaker needs to initiate. Elder Titan needs to follow up from there. Tiny and Wisp then need to come in and do their damage, and then Viper's pretty much cleanup. So it's going to take Navi US quite a bit of synergy. While on the other hand, LGD will need to have a fairly strong game all around. Once Earthshaker gets his blink, that's when this game truly opens up for Navi US. The issue is getting there. So we will have to see how this goes.
This Elder Titan pickup, this has just made my day, honestly. I love Elder Titan.
I
Beyond
love this hero with a passion.
absolutely. He is so good. Oh, what's this? Tethering to the rock. Wow, is Io cheating on Tiny? What is this? Why is Elder Titan the one that's getting the love here?
I'm digging this Wisp starting build.
A tango.
Shared Tango.
He wants that
He's
fun.
actually going to be rushing a bottle, so this is an extremely good build. And Elder Titan saying, "You are not wording my pull candy." Pricks. No, he just wants vision. That's cute.
That's interesting. Honestly, I better load up some dubstep for whenever Elder Titan presses R and just unleash the hammer whenever he does. Because that ultimate is one of my favorite things in Dota 2 thus far.
And it works so incredibly well with Earthshaker.
Absolutely.
Like,
If Earthshaker manages to
his
press
blink.
R,
30 seconds
oh
to
man,
battle.
I would buy another 20 compendiums to see an Elder Titan Earthshaker ult just at the same time for both of them to proc. It's so much damage.
I guess this game kind of relies upon Korok, and it will be the mid lane Tiny Wisp combo. At the moment, they're just cleaning up these trees so they could get double stacks off.
And it's going to be safe lane Viper. This is going to be an interesting game. Safe lane Viper is very much like Central Warrunner, where if you try to harass him out of lane, you're going to have to go to regen first.
I said this multiple times now, but I really enjoyed the lineup from Navi US here. They have
Absolutely.
two very dependent heroes, Tiny Wisp. They have them together, and they will be safe throughout this game. And I'll talk about LGD's smart response to that in a second. They have a roaming Earthshaker. This fog is going to be going everywhere around this map. And then they have two heroes who are very good on their own. Off-lane Elder Titan, and then a safe lane but still solo Viper. Viper, arguably, is one of the best solo carries in the game. Just because of Corrosive Skin, you can't harass him. It doesn't work.
You're going to die first.
It's extremely intelligent.
And another interesting thing here is that Lich was hanging. Lich is kind of hanging around mid as well, not letting Morphling get bullied out of lane by Korok with this avalanche.
And that's what I wanted to dwell on next, because once it was revealed that Navi US would be running the Tiny Wisp mid, and it could have been a Viper mid, admittedly, but once that was revealed, having the Lich mid will deny the other two of much needed experience. So it's very, very intelligent response from LGD.
You know, as a personal side note, I'm very surprised that Blitz and Purge of teams that play Korea do not play Tiny and Wisp more often, seeing as how this is just a love story in the making. They would never leave one another's side.
We will get Blitz and Purge on the Wisp Tiny eventually. We will. However, it is Aosin that plays more of the Wisp on Zephyr, which is kind of sad, kind of disappointing.
Hashtag TI12. Maybe they'll reach TIs by then.
No hate, just love.
No, I'm a huge fan of them. I absolutely adore Team Zephyr. They're the guys that got me into this game. Well, Purge is.
Purge is doing work for the Dota community, let me say that.
Absolutely. It's hard work and dedication.
Roaming Earthshaker goes on to Lich. Is that a kill?
That has to be a kill. Come on, there we go. I am getting
First blood
Now,
is
Korok.
drawn. Will Korok get... No, Fogged is there to body block perfectly. Excellently done by Navi US. And that's a huge pickup. Even it's just a support Lich mid. But now
It's
all
still
of the
Buzz
denied XP mid is just negated. Wisp and Tiny. Wisp has been stacking these camps pretty promptly, and he's going to do so again. This is a very difficult... Yeah, okay, he's not going to get the double. It's a very difficult pull to get off, but that will be a lot of extra XP there. Fogged has rotated to the bot lane. Try to jump. Yao. Keep in mind, snaking is low on mana. Yeah, there's not much Fogged can do at the moment, so a wise decision.
On a side note, whilst things are still kind of quiet, how much gold do you think is lying around in these Radiant mid camps right now? Because I'm just wondering at who's going to take this farm. Tiny being the obvious choice here for a quick blink or an Aghanim's as well.
Hmm.
But I'm just wondering how fast that accelerates somebody's farm.
I would think having the Wisp there gives Tiny so much more dependence and reliance on farm. You'll almost never see a Tiny without the Wisp nowadays, just because there are other carries who have, I was gonna say equatable burst damage, but that's not really true, because the burst damage of Tiny is pretty insane. But
Strong.
his burst is ridiculous. Oh, okay, Fog let that one go.
Rabbit doing very well, managing to grab the regeneration rune for himself.
Was... Huh. I know he wanted to give the rune to 1437, but I think at that point, if I'm almost positive he saw Rabbit roaming down, I think you have to hit him. You have to stun him, do something, block off the rune, I don't know.
Even deny it would be better than give it to him.
That seems like a misplay on behalf of Fog, but regardless, they're still up 1-0. Very passive game thus far. I mean, Elder Titan has 0 to no kill potential, or little to no kill potential early. And he's not getting much farm, he just needs levels in this lane. And meanwhile, I miss a kill mid. It was on the Morphling, so that is
under attack. No Gale can snuff the flames.
Huh. Oh, that's probably the toss landing. I thought it's on Echo Slam Remnant.
Also, just to detract a little bit from the strategy of the game, if I may direct your attention to the Dire Courier right now, that may be one of the best things I've seen in this game.
Yeah, this Roshan Courier is pretty sick.
Even little trails of fire. 10 out of 10 would buy.
I like it, it's pretty cool.
Now let's see what's happening mid lane here. Korik's still kind of out of mana. You know what I'm surprised? I'm a little surprised that I so rarely see something such as a Ring of Basilius from Tiny. It gives him some much needed armor, health generation, and who says no to damage?
Meanwhile, bot lane. I'll get back to
oh
that.
My. Ravage has been possibly get away.
Regardless.
No, he got away. He had to pop Ravage for it, but that was completely worth it.
Yeah, that's completely worth it in my mind. I mean...
you do not want a Fed Viper.
And Snake King's build was perfect for that situation. I mean, he had the right amount of points in Nether Toxin to be able to pick up that kill. It didn't work out. But on the topic of Basilius and Tiny, usually he just grabs a bottle because the health regen is nice too. Oh,
that miss.
Avalanche. It's not the end of the world, but it's surely gonna hurt.
Now, Lich is still level 4, otherwise this would be an actual gank. That would have been very interesting to see where it be level 6.
God, I can't... Okay, E. Man, I can't find the button.
E is hero level.
Snake King CC's top to try to help out Elder Titan. That's the lost cause. The mortal enemy of Viper. The almighty TP school.
Same with
Life Stealer share a mutual hatred for that item. And meanwhile, Korok and 1437 are just going to be relishing these camps. This is level 6 for Tiny. Possibly level 7. No more bottle charges left, but still, hey, that's good farm out of that. Oh, looks like they're going to head back. And very wisely, Fogged is just sitting mid. And obviously, he's not going to get many last hits out of this, if any. But the kill potential between a Lich and a Morphling is next to none this early. Yeah, they do damage, they don't have very much lockdown. So, sitting your Earthshaker mid for levels is a very good idea.
Every level he gets more and more deadly. That's very true. Especially with his rather okay, well, I say okay, I use the term very loosely, 2.9 strength gain per level. Means that Earthshaker is going to hit very hard come the late game thanks to his enchant token.
Here we go. Fisher will be going down. Yes, it will. Oh, Snake King has arrived too. That is a dead Morphling. And after what I saw from Loda in that Alliance game, this Morphling Morphling is a very tough hero to deal with late game, so shutting him down early is the way to go. Who they're not shutting down, however, is the Razor. He actually has the Immortal on right now, which is pretty cool. I have no idea what part of his kit that alters. I think Static Link.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. God, it's such a cool helmet, though.
Radiant's top tower
Regardless,
is under
they
attack.
have rotated Brax down to the bot lane because Elder Titan does need a small, very small amount of farm. Soul Ring, which he has, and then usually Mechanism or Pipe. Pipe against this team would be exceptional, especially with Chain Frost. So.
I'm surprised to see that he didn't get a point out of Splitter. Whilst the slow is rather poor at level 1, and the opportunity for teamfights is also small, it's such a potent ability.
Oh. Looks like Fox will be cut out here. Tide's ultimate is up.
No way is he going to survive this.
No, but he did do quite a good amount of stun. Yeah, but Shaman's just gonna come in.
Get the last hit.
I mean, that's a kill on a level 5 Earthshaker with next to nothing, so... It is worth their time, but...
The longer you delay that thing, the longer you delay getting destroyed by him.
Elder Titan has now rotated top into the Raid Spirit. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops the Earth Splitter here just to back him off. Right? It wouldn't surprise me. There's
Well,
TP
I wish he
support.
would drop it,
Earth
but there
Splitter
is,
should
he
be
doesn't
coming
have
out
it.
any second now. Oh, he does not
He
have
doesn't. He didn't even put a skill point in it yet.
Oh,
They would have gotten a kill if he had.
They whiffed the tower. Shadow Shaman's wards got the tower.
Mistakes were made.
Oh my, that's level 1 wards. They hit for 45 apiece and that's reduced on towers. That's big. That's a pretty big misstep.
Wait, is it reduced on towers?
Shadow Shaman's wards do not do 45 damage per hit on the tower, otherwise those things would melt. Those things would melt.
Oh, of course.
Oh, this is a relocate gank up on the top lane.
At last, the relocate has been used, but...
TP support though will shut that down. Earthshaker is out of mana and Wisp gets blown up. Speaking of blown up, crazy good Fisher there from Earthshaker. That Morphling just disintegrated. Oh my lord.
I guess you could say he really just couldn't morph to the situation.
That was... oh. Meanwhile, bot lane 2, Viper, I believe, has his mechanism on the way. Yes, he does.
The Dire have fortified their grove.
750 gold away from it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. It may yet
So now
stand.
he could focus pretty much exclusively on Ags. And Aghanim's Scepter, pardon my lack of English capabilities today, is crazy good on Viper. And, oh, Viper is such a good hero. Snake King playing this extremely well. He is almost rivaling the Razor in terms of CS. So this is going very well for him in the bot lane. Meanwhile, Tiny is on pace for a Ags, but I wouldn't say it's close.
I want to see Rasta get his Blink Dagger immediately though. I know that he's saving up for it because honestly you wouldn't be sitting on 2150 gold for nothing otherwise, but the moment he gets that Blink Dagger, this game is going to change a little bit and it's kind of, wow, that's a lot of damage from Elder Titan. Once Rasta gets his Blink Dagger as well as his wards, that's a hell of a lot of damage. Elder Titan pops against making, and he goes down.
Spent on just the Viper, which
Completely worth it.
what is
It's
it
still
though?
running.
Because
It's
now
still
this opens a huge window of opportunity for Navi US to rotate in, and that's exactly what they're doing. There is the jump. Oh, the counter jump. Wards must have been up because this has gone disastrous. Wisp has gone down as well. Elder Titan has no stop. He's just got to TP out. And yeah, that went much worse for Navi US than I would have anticipated because spending a Ravage on one man, and it may have caught Elder Titan in the back here. But spending Ravage on one man is pretty much an invitation for the enemy team to attack you. So
That's what happens though. That's so much damage out of LGD that they don't think need their Ravage. It's almost a attempt of just making sending a message to Navi US right now. They don't even need Ravage at this point in time in the game to take them out. And killing Viper, shutting Viper down as hard as you can, as often as you can, is always worth it in my opinion. I would pop almost everything I have from my entire team to take that little heal down.
Luckily for Navi US, Viper was not on a killing spree. That could have been... Oh, he actually does not have a kill. Oh, alrighty.
Very passive game for Viper.
The Roshan is scouted out by the Elder Spirit Titan. Unfortunately for Navi US, as stated earlier, Elder Titan does not have Stomp. And Stomp is incredibly good at shutting down Roshan attempts.
Does it deal damage to Roshan as well?
Stomp does not deal damage to Roshan, but that sleep duration is insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 5 seconds at max level, and it would only be 2 seconds had he sealed. Oh, Navi US try to pull one over on LGD. They're going for this rush right away.
Is LGD going to allow this?
Oh, great Fisher! Incredible Fisher to block that off. They couldn't do anything. Tide, if Tide blinks in, he dies. That's... What a Fisher from Fogged. That is... Oh. That is huge for Navi US. The gold they get, the Aegis up on Korok, this Tiny is going to be so intimidating later. It's... I know I'm really stressing this, but that Fisher was textbook.
That was... Yeah, he just earned his paycheck, honestly. However much he earns, it's not enough because of just that one Fisher.
It's heartbreaking to see supports go broke like he is, because it's like... Earthshaker does a lot with no money. And
absolutely.
That was just pure positioning and game knowledge to block that off. Because that fight could have gone very poorly for Navi US. And it looks like we're going to be trading towers here. We have top tower for LGD under attack, and meanwhile the mid tower will be pushed 5-man by LGD.
Honestly, the difference in XP gained is only around 975 right now for LGD. They have lost most of their advantage because there was a massive dip in XP where Navi has managed to make a comeback. However, Golden, Navi is also making a comeback. This is... Oh, Rabbit is going to go down now. Wow. He manages to get away thanks to his ultimate. Chain push out.
But will Morphling get away? Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Earth Splitter goes down and whiffs. The relocate was used, and I don't think they'll be catching anybody else. The question is, will Wisp relocate with Tiny, who's out of mana? He is alone in the top lane, when that could have been ripe for the picking for Navi US.
It's a shame that Wisp's spirits do not deal damage to the creeps, otherwise he would be a very fun off laner.
Oh, great.
Even mid laner. It's a shame, but I feel like he would be fundamentally overpowered because of the amount of pushing damage that deals.
Tiny's Ags is done, and he is hitting like a truck. Even just a few hits on that tower is devastating. Great Fisher. Unfortunately, that's on the wrong side. It doesn't matter regardless.
He just doesn't care.
Echo Slam is dropped. Yao's in some trouble. He ate the Viper Strike there. The Spirit from Elder Titan will do some damage. Not enough. Korok is going to have a ton of damage. At the end of the day, 1437 can't save Tiny, but it doesn't matter. Aegis is up.
Heartbreaking. Nobody wants to go after them. They pop their Aegis, but they know when they're about to take their welcome, they do not want to go in when they are not locked.
And Tiny is a scary, scary hero.
You do not want to see him turn around and beat the head out of your face with Avalanche Toss and Natural Light. Already dealing 221 damage. That's going to be massive.
That's level 2 grow. That's huge. So, and look at bot lane. It's pushing up. That's farm right for the taking. It's going to be taken by Snake King. And at the end of the day, oh, I thought that would be an Aghanim's on the way for Snake King.
Hit up Defiance instead.
It appears he's going pipe.
I can't blame him. That's a very magic-heavy team on LGDs.
Typically, I would expect that on the Elder Titan, but instead he's going Force Staff, which, once again, that's another really good item, so... They're sharing the responsibilities well over on Navi US.
Absolutely.
LGD does lead in kills and in towers, though only by 1. So, Navi US is not out of this game, not by a long shot. Let's take a look at the gold. Roughly 3,000, maybe a bit under. XP pretty much balanced out. I mean, it's... This game is much closer than it was a while ago. And there we go. We're getting some farm on this Earthshaker finally. It's a good day when we get that blink up. However
He's
far
on
away
it.
it may be. Meanwhile, smoke up from LGD. They want some kills. They need some kills. They need to push. And this tiny sitting mid looks awfully tasty right now. No, instead they decide to rotate bot, and they're not going to find anything. And they will get a very aggressive ward placed up on this.
Well, Lich has been scouted by this. They know. Immediately a TP. But, no, to no avail. It's been ignored thus far.
Brax is just going to scout this out. He's actually going to stomp this. That's... I guess that's a bit of damage. And if you already spent the soul ring, might as well get your hands worth.
Thus far, a rather passive game, actually. I was expecting to see a lot more action. These days, especially in TI4 and qualifiers, and even ESL 1, I have not seen Relocate being used all that much. I'm starting to feel like Wisp has only been picked for his tether these days, as opposed to the Relocate function.
I think that statement will be changed once Earthshaker gets a Blink Dagger.
I ideally hope you're right, because I want to see some relocates.
Because if you're just blind relocating into where they may be farming, that could be disastrous. That being said, they do get some aggressive wards up, so that opens potential for this a lot. Overall,
BKB is going to be built on Tiny now. He's got his second Ogre Club. That's going to be a very good item, completely negating a lot of the damage, actually, of Team LGD, of course, not just Team Navi USA, because they are the ones with the most magic damage. However, a BKB is never a bad thing to pick up, unless you're against an army of predators.
Yeah, if you're against, like, Drow, PL, Meepo...
PA.
Yeah, like, okay, don't get a BKB, but at that point, you've already won. So...
Absolutely. Unless it's the 2-hour mark.
If you've reached the 2-hour mark, you screwed up.
Very
you screwed up real bad. And I'm just waiting on Fogs to get this farm. I'd like to say patiently waiting, but I'm aching to see a good Echo Slam out of him. And his figures have been on point, so...
10 years since last Echo Slam Blink. I wanted the streets. Something, something. I'm bad at Twitch.
That was Serpent Wards dropped on this tower.
Very small harass, actually. Well, that's not fair. It has been pushed down to below half health. However, luckily out of deny range, so Team LGD could potentially come back and try and steal this.
Yep. And I'd like to bring up again, that's only level 1 Serpent Wards.
Still. You are correct.
They're
Opening has denied the tower.
But had they waited for like 300 XP, that would have been a pretty big damage upgrade on all of them.
Absolutely. Quite a lot of damage.
Not looking too good for Snake. No, sir. Do we get a relocate out? Mech is dropped. Earth Splitter comes out. There is a lot. There's the force down from Brax. Huge. The stomp will go down as well. Brax, you're the man. As he comes in and saves Snake King, the pipe, the mech, the power treads, and the wand, all paying off huge dividends for Viper. As well as the great teamwork coming out from Brax with his Spirit, Force Staff, and Echo Slam. While bot lane. Now just, oh! Juke.
That was magical.
Juke.
So, next question. What is going to be the next pickup for Tiny once he finishes his Black King bar? What do you think he'll go? Do you think we'll see something very orthodox, such as, for example, Butterfly? Or are we going to see something a little bit more out there?
I would hope to see an Assault Cuirass.
An AC, eh?
Because at the moment, Navi US is doing pretty well in team fights, but they're going to need to start pushing very hard. Yeah, and AC is a great way to do that.
You are correct.
Big items after that. Heart. You could pick up a heart on anybody. It's a good pickup. Fog will be caught in the top lane.
Will he manage to get out? He gets
out.
away. Lich's auto attack is following him across the entire bloody map. He wants that kill. Alas, no luck. Here it comes, and he gets missed.
That's incredibly well
Blink
done.
dagger. He finally has it now.
Oh. That is such opportune timing too, because had he
That
died
is a
there,
game changer.
had he died there,
Absolutely. He would have been waiting for it for another 2-3 minutes minimum.
worth noting too, this is a pretty long Roshan.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So is it not.
still not up yet, no. And I'm feeling some aggression coming out here from Navi US.
Tell you what though, about Tiny and the way his Agony Scepter works. Battle Fury. Yay or nay?
Okay.
That cleave. But is it even worth it?
Well, I'm thinking here, the Battle Fury's damage is pretty good. Let me just bring up the item here so we could get some reference and I'm not just talking on my ass here. It grants some pretty good HP regen. Now, with a Wisp, you're not really going to need HP regen. That much is clear. Same with the mana regen. So that part of the item is relatively wasted, dare I say. However, 35% cleave damage extra.
Hold on, look at this.
It's going to be huge BKB. He's DPing
He
out.
just doesn't care.
Oh, that's a one-hit kill.
That's what you get for ganking me, he says, and he goes back home.
And look at that, we got Rakdoter. Mid lane is pushing. Navi US knows. Look at Fog's positioning. They're waiting for the TPs. They're going.
And there it goes. The push has been dropped, as well as the Ravage. Now
Echo.
Snaking is in trouble. Will he
Echo
continue
Slam
going
is
to kill?
available. Snake King still barely. There's the Echo Slam. Unfortunately, Chain Frost does
What
come
a
out pipe
kill.
out at the perfect time. Relocate gank comes in. 3 more dead for LGD and a Tidehunter who barely makes it out alive. Navi US is doing very good right now. Razor is forced to buy back. Very well done.
That was a 4-0 for Navi USA. If anybody was doubting them, that right there, as well as the tiny BKB murder in top lane, has just shown how much dominance they can assert whenever they want to.
It's just all around. The teamwork they're showing, the synergy between their heroes, everything that they've been doing so far has been
I see them going far.
exceptionally well.
I see them going very far in this tournament.
I blinks in and to no avail. I don't like calling GG this early, but at this point, LGD looks stacked. They've done relatively nothing to not the US in the past. That's probably going to be a Wisp kill. My words there. However, great stomp from Elder Titan. They pick up 2 on the Tide and the Razor. Next up will be the Morphling. Will he get out? It appears he will. The rain tracks is down. Melee racks are next on the clear. Now, I don't see these lasting longer than a few seconds. And then
I honestly don't see a reason for them to go back. Wow. That was pretty BM from DD. Just blinks in and hexes to cancel his TP. Now, poor Korok has to run all the way there.
I missed that. I saw him TPing down. I was wondering why he canceled. But overall, this is Tiny 8-1 and 5. Doing excellent. Great support from the Wisp, and Fog's Earthshaker is, from what I've seen, extremely well done thus far. Now, I do want to return to your Battle Fury Tiny, because most people would just scoff it off as, no, he already has Cleave. But let's actually take a look. Let's actually take a look and analyze this, because it could be viable. You would get 35% extra Cleave. It's not stacking multiplicatively or anything weird like that. That's plus 35% Cleave. So then Tiny is at 85% Cleave. 85%, that's a huge chunk of his base damage. if he has crits as well, that's a ton of damage. Tons of damage.
Literally tons of damage.
And maybe, what's the other options on Tiny? Is Skull Basher commonly picked up? I'm not a huge Tiny player.
I've never seen a Skull Basher, but it makes sense. It makes sense, but I've never seen it actually being built. So I'm assuming no.
Dire's top tower is
Meanwhile,
under attack.
2 Tiny Illusions top lane are doing more damage than most supports. So it's extremely effective play here by Navi.
These things are dealing 25 damage each to the tower, and it's actually adding up quite a lot. As Soul Spirit has been finished and the real Tiny comes in, he just tore the crap out of that tower. I'm surprised he didn't uproot the tower and use it to beat LGD so far with it.
He should just pick up the tower and just... That's the new Aghanims. He takes the tower out of the ground.
Well, please. Sacrifice tier 4 tower for an extra high damage Tiny. Wow.
He gets buffed to picking up the Ancient later down the road.
GG.
That AC allows him to push like no other, let me tell you. Tiny. He's incredibly good at pushing.
There is absolutely nothing that can be done to this Tiny at this point, I don't think. And another Ethereal Blade on Morphling.
The more effort you expend on him is the more time you give the rest of the team, because a stun from Fog will save him, a stomp from Brax will save him. Snaking can spam his ult every 12 seconds. It's like, there's very little to be done against this team.
And honestly, I realized that I am not the one in the chair right now making these big decisions about items, but I'm beginning to question the Morphling players who buy an Ethereal Blade religiously. This is not TI2, you can't just shut them. Yes.
Okay. We were having this discussion last cast, those who missed it.
And it's absolutely ridiculous that you would expect a Morphling to be able to deal enough damage to take a Tiny. Look at Navi's team right now. You have an Elder Titan with 9 armor, 14, 13, 28 health. You have a Tiny with 2500. Actually, Core of US has been forced to TP out right now with a 5-man Bancroft. Completely ignores an entire LGD. Just goes home. He has enough. Wisp was taken out of the active action, unfortunately. But as I was saying, you have Tiny with 2500 health with 25 armor right now. Even Earthshaker with 8 armor, 1347 health. You are wasting so much money on buying an item which isn't going to do crap for you. The only thing it does is... Actually, no, it doesn't even make you look fancy. It does literally nothing. You wasted an item slot on an item that essentially is weak to Decrepify. It cannot be attacked. Okay, I get that. But it just delays the inevitable. And look at that damage it's making. That's obscene. That does so much damage. Even ignoring the mechanism. Actually, because I'm assuming you would have to.
I'm not sure if you saw the stomp.
No, I missed the stomp.
Brax got a 3-man stomp on smoked heroes.
Wow.
Report
aimbot.
And this Tiny is snowballing out of control. He's a rolling stone right now. You can't stop Tiny right now.
At this point, this is just evolved into a boss game. Because right now...
The kills are relatively even, but it's as if Tiny has just been...
He might as well be 60-1 right now. He deals so much damage to everybody, even through static link. Look at that. He lost 112 damage and he still deals 200 and something. He just doesn't care anymore.
And the synergy from Navi US is beyond my comprehension right now. As Korak chucks Snaking out of the fight previously to get him away from the shadows. Now he throws him into the fight.
And he gets a kill with it.
And he's whacking away. Wisp is here.
Look at that damage!
The health just disintegrates and Tiny is going ham. There's nothing to be done. GG indeed. This... I've never been so impressed by a team synergy before. But Navi US has just gone nuts.
They deserve that victory from the very beginning. They deserve that so much, honestly. You want to beat a team draft like this, you have to pick something such as Nature's Prophet. You have to pick Chen along with him for the sustained healing with Aghanim's. You have to pick every single split pusher in the game.
Yep.
And then hope to any deity you believe in and every single one that you don't, that they don't decide to 5-man mid and to destroy everything.
It's
you can't. There's nothing to be done except try and man fight them. Because you try to outrat them, they're just gonna push you down mid. You try to team fight them, you're gonna get crushed in a team fight. You try and ignore the team fight, you're gonna get picked off. That's why you bring the Wisp for.
I'm looking at these post-game stats here. I'm trying to figure out an MVP for Na'Vi US, and I can't, because every single one of them played exceptionally well. And then I look down at LGD, and I look who was the best player on their team, and I don't know, because it was every single one of them was shut down individually. Look at Lich. He has 1 deny. An ability that denies creeps for him, and he has 1 deny.
It speaks volumes about the preparedness of LGD compared to Na'Vi US, I believe. Not to necessarily bag on LGD too much, but I'm just trying to insinuate that they need to be more prepared.
From the very beginning, Na'Vi US set the tone. They set the tempo. We're going to gank you, and we're going to protect our team. And they did.
They even sent Lich mid to counteract the Wisp Tiny mid for Morphling. And then Wisp Tiny just held all of LGD by the balls from the beginning.
The only item choice I questioned from Na'Vi US was the Force Staff on Elder Titan, and then therefore the Pipe on Viper. Yet it saved both of their lives. So it's... Man, I can't... Na'Vi US is a force to be reckoned with moving forward in this international tournament.